This video will show you how to assemble your Siren 3 speed bike. Unboxing. To open the box, remove any staples from the top flap and cut the tape. Pull out the hardware box and the seat and set aside for now. Carefully lift the bike out of the box and set down gently. Cut zip ties to remove the front wheel and handlebars and set aside for now. Remove the protective packaging and store with the bike box in case you ever need to return the bike. Insert the stem into the bike. We'll come back to this in a little bit. Open the hardware box and set aside contents for assembly. Make sure to remove packaging from the saddle. Prepare fenders for assembly later by installing the struts onto the fenders using the screws and small nuts provided. Front wheel. To install the front wheel, first rotate the fork so that it's facing forward. Loosen the nuts on the front wheel. Sit the front fork of the bike onto the wheel. Tighten the nuts onto the fork using a 15mm wrench. Pedals. Next, we'll install the pedals. Make sure to take note that you are inserting the right pedal, marked with an R, onto the right side, and the left pedal, marked with an L, onto the left side. Using a 15mm wrench, install and tighten each pedal onto the crank. Saddle. Insert the seat post stem into the bike, being careful not to drop the whole post into the bike. If you do drop the seat post, give us a call and we can give you a few tips for getting it out. Make sure that the thinner end is pointing upward. Tighten the seat post with at least a few inches exposed using a 6mm Allen key on the seat post clamp. Install the rear reflector onto the seat post now using a Phillips head screwdriver. Install the saddle onto the seat post and tighten using a 14mm wrench. Make sure to alternate between nuts to ensure an even, tight fit. Handlebars. First, we'll tighten the stem into the frame. To do this properly, make sure that the stem and front wheel align with the bike. Tighten in place using a 6mm Allen key. Next, loosen the bolts on the handlebar using a 5mm Allen key. We generally recommend starting with slightly above parallel to the ground. This can be readjusted in the future. Tighten in place using a 5mm Allen key. Make sure to check that the handlebars don't move by putting your weight down on them. Also, make sure that they don't turn out of place by trying to twist them while holding the front wheel down. Fender. When installing the fenders, it's important to know that the fender tab and strut should come in from behind the fork. Using a Phillips head screwdriver and 10mm wrench, take the long bolt, washer, and nut, and fasten the front reflector and front fender tab to the fork. The order should be bolt, front reflector, fork, fender tab, washer, then nut. Using either a 10mm wrench or Phillips head screwdriver, fasten the ends of the struts to the dropouts with the hardware provided. On the back fender, fasten the ends of the struts to the dropouts with the hardware provided using either a 10mm wrench or a Phillips head screwdriver. Three-speed tuning. First, check if the bike is already properly tuned. You can do this by shifting into second gear and observing the shifter. If the yellow dot is within the two lines, then the bike is properly tuned. If it isn't, then we'll need to tune your three-speed shifter. Follow these steps to properly tune your three-speed shifter. With the bike still in second gear, loosen the lock washer towards the front of the shifter. This will allow you to turn the adjustment knob slightly in front of it. Turn the adjustment knob until the yellow dot is directly in the middle of the two lines. Once that's complete, retighten the lock washer. Your bike is now tuned. Tires. Pump your tires to the recommended air pressure on the side of the wheel. Most beach cruisers will be set for 30 to 40 psi.